Hello everyone, Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm welcoming you to a special program that we're having today with Creative and Innovative Hour. I want to introduce you to the next generation of Nigerians, the Nigerians that will build the nation, the Nigerians that will make Nigerian proud and write the new history of the nation. And one very interesting thing that I've discovered about these innovators is that they are all in their 20s. They are all in their 20s. When you talk about Emeka Nelson, when you talk about Malo, Jerry Malo, when you talk about, all other guys, they are all in their 20s. Even the one that is making from Thunder, what was his name again? Yeah, they are all in their 20s. And it's very interesting that these people are so young. And for me, God is trying to make a statement that all these people, is pointing to the glorious years of Nigeria, to the glorious days of Nigeria that is coming, with God raising up all these young lads who are, vast in technology and are bringing technological solution to our problem in Nigeria. So today I'm having a 22-year-old young man that has somehow found a solution to electricity problem by generating electricity from floor tiles. And of course it's not ordinary tiles that we are using in the house. I'm sure it's a much more complex equation there, but he will have to explain all that to us today. I want to introduce him to you. I want to introduce him to the world. And I want to thank Mr. Caro, the innovator from America, inventor from America, a Nigerian too by birth, who is, doing so much to discover all these innovators and to expose them to the world. So today, it is the time for Busari Taiwo Saheed. Busari Taiwo Saheed. So hello, hello Taiwo. How are you doing, Taiwo?
I'm doing fine, sir. Good afternoon here.
Yeah, very glad to hear your voice. You look so young. It's like it's difficult to believe that you are 22 years old the way your stature is. I would have given you 16 or 17.
Actually, I was born on September.
Oh, your telephone has turned, no? Your telephone has turned. You need to turn it back to rotate back to the way it was. Maybe somebody tried to call you. You have to, yes, it's okay now. You were born when?
I was born on 14th September 1997. So actually, I'm going to be 22 this year.
Wow. So you are 21 now. You'll be 22 this year.
Yes.
How did you go? How did you start with invention? What took you there? When did you discover that you have a flair for invention and innovation?
Actually, I was born into a family of 5, 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And my brothers are also into innovation and building of things, but not so much the way I'm doing it. So back in the days when I was still young, we used to build small toy cars. And
who used to build that? So that make your voice, make your something so that you speak directly into the microphone, into your speaker. Say that again, please.
Okay. Actually, when I was young, me and my brother used to build toy cars.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
So that toy cars is not just ordinary toy cars. We used to put batteries and motors there so that it will be able to work on its own. And we used to put light there. But as things goes on, I start to realize that I can do more than that. So when I get into secondary school, when I was in SS2, I tried to form a group that we can build things. So that's where I started. But as of that time, I don't know anything about invention. I only talk about innovation.
You didn't know anything about invention?
I don't even, I thought that, we have like Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. I thought that they have invented everything. So I only talk about innovating and solving problems through innovations. So actually, in my city, it's just like, I can't call it a village, but it's not. It's just a localized city, and we have lots of problems here, like light problem and any other problems like that. And also, when I get to tertiary institution, actually, I graduated from the Polytechnic Ibadan. I studied civil engineering there. So when I get there, yeah.
Polytechnic of Ibadan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you coming? Where do you live?
I live in Ishenyi under Oyo State.
You say it's a village?
It's a city for us. A small city.
It's like a small town.
You can say town.
So, is that where you are talking from now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you started. To do. You went to school. You said you formed a group or what?
Actually, back in secondary school, I tried to form a group, but later scattered due to admissions and some problems. So I'm unable to gather the group together again. So I'm working on my own now.
So when you were in the university, why did you study civil engineering when you could do electrical engineering?
Actually, sir, in Nigeria, it's not that you want to do a course. It is the course that they give you that you will do. Actually, I put in for mechatronics engineering and robotics, but they didn't give me admission. They gave me civil engineering. And for me not to stay at home, I have to do it. But currently now I'm working on another admission to study mechatronics and robotics engineering.
You have to go back again?
Yes, I want to start from 100 level.
For what? To what university do you want to go back to?
The admission that I'm working on now is Abu Zaria, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria.
What about if you get admission? What about if you get an opportunity to study abroad?
That would be great, sir. Because over there they have so many amenities that will enable me to work even more better than I'm doing now.
So what do you say you want to study?
Sir?
What is the course you said you want to study again?
Mechatronics and robotics engineering.
Mechatronics.
Yes, sir.
And robotic engineering.
Yes, sir.
Mechatronics. What is mechatronics?
Actually, mechatronics is the margin of so many engineering courses, like electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, computer engineering, and system control engineering, metallurgical engineering. They are all merged together to form this mechatronics engineering. And the work of a mechatronics engineering is to build things that can be controlled either maybe autonomous or can be controlled via remote control.
Yeah, I remember now. Mechatronics. I had one guy from Germany who I interviewed, also studied that mechatronics engineering. But that mechatronic engineering, it will be the basis for artificial intelligence, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, because what about if you get admission to study artificial intelligence?
That would be great, sir.
Because it's also in line of mechatronics. So either our robotics also, it's also related to robotics engineering. But so when did you begin to invent really serious stuff when you say you discovered that you could do more than what you and your brothers were doing?
Okay, when I get into tertiary institution, the Polytechnic Ibadan, I start to see some problems like the electricity problem. I don't have any fan in my room. I don't have.
Bring it close. Make sure that you speak directly into that thing. Yes.
Actually, when I was in tertiary institution, I don't have electric bulb and electric fan, be it standing fan or ceiling fan. I don't have. So I try to build some things out of what I have, like the um, rechargeable fan, mini rechargeable fan, and the rechargeable bulb. Actually, I sent some pictures to you about those two, the rechargeable fan and the bulb. So after that, I tried to realize through Emmanuel Obayagona, because he is my mentor on Facebook.
Yes,
I get in touch
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Obayagona and
Yes,
the likes of Emeka Nelson and Alaolusola Yoban. They are the one
yes,
that let me know that there's still something like inventing. Because I remember back then, Emeka Nelson built something like a generator that is powered by water.
yes,
It's electricity. And that of Emmanuel Obayagona also invents a way to capture thunder lightning and convert it to useful energy.
yes.
So I tried to that's when I tried to move on and try to invent something new. So after that, when there was a day that I was watching a program on NTA, they were talking about um, Harmattan. Then I heard that
You were talking
during
about what?
Harmattan.
Harmattan. Okay. The
So they
weather.
talk
That is the
about fog.
weather. That is the weather in Nigeria, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So they talked about fog and so many problems that fog used to create, like a difficulty in landing of aircraft. Because when there is fog, the pilots will not be able to see where they will land. And also on the road, it used to cause so much vehicle accidents and a motorcycle accidents because they won't be able to see further further more than they can. So then I just have to search about that fog and look into what caused the fog. So after that, I worked on it, and by the grace of God, I'm able to to have an idea as of last year about a machine that I can use to reduce the fog, which will reduce the road accidents. And also, as of that last year, although I worked, though it is not, I can't call it an invention, I can only call it innovation. A tile that produces electricity.
Okay. Before the tiles, tell us more about the fog. So the idea of the invention with the fog is to make it dissipate or to make people see through it. What is the idea of it?
To reduce the fog.
It will
Device
reduce
to
the
reduce the
fog.
fog. Yes, sir. So I'm unable to build the machine because of money. Because here in my city, they don't even give attention to people like me. So because of that, I have to stop innovating and inventing when I was in school, and I have to look into another thing that I can do, which is drawing. I do draw. So then I believe that if I can draw and get money, I'll be able to save enough money to build a prototype. But since then, actually, I'm back home now, but I don't used to get job. I don't have money to build the prototype. So I only have the ideas in drawing. I don't have the machine built. I don't have the working prototype.
So you just calculated it, right? So right now it's on the on hypothetical on is an hypothesis right now, right? Or it's more than hypothesis.
Yes, sir. I can say more than hypothesis because I'm sure that it will work.
Okay, can you give us an idea of, the thing it will solve? How this fog invention? What did you call it, by the way?
The fogging machine.
Fogging machine.
The fogging machine.
Okay. So how will it work? Tell us more about that.
Actually, it's a machine with 3 compartments: the intake chamber, the defog chamber, and the outtake chamber. The intake chamber takes in the air that is the fogged air into the fogging chamber. The fogging chamber contains some metals in which when electricity is passed through them, they will reduce the fog. I mean, they will reduce the humidity of the air, in which will result to the reduction of the fog. And there will be a fan inside that exhaust chamber, in which will blow out the fresh air, which will not contain any fog.
So, but for example, where will the machine be located? Is it inside the plane, inside the car, or outside in the environment? Where will it be located to affect the fog?
It will be placed by the side of the road.
Okay.
Maybe be it in the airport, on the main road, or just any road, just by the side of the road.
But will it be able to travel far enough to get to kilometers where the planes are?
Sir?
You know, we are talking about planes, aeroplanes as well.
Yes, yes.
So will it be able to travel to clear the fog on that level in the kilometers up there where planes are flying?
Actually, sir, it will not work in the atmosphere. It will only work on the runway, so that it will reduce the landing problem, airplane landing problem, because that's what it used to cause.
So you think that the landing problem of fog that air pilots complain about is not you think it's the fog? I mean, it's the fog on the landing space, or it is the fog that is in the air?
Actually, about what I heard on the program, they talked about the fog on the landing surface. That even they are coming from USA, and on reaching Lagos, they are even about to land, and they have to send them back from the airport that there's fog and they can't land. So they have to go back to USA. So I try to figure it that if there is an emergency, like somebody that needs emergency health attention, that person may lose his life, or even result in some other dangerous things.
So this solution that you have come up with now is going to work for the cars, for airplanes. Where again can one use?
Yes.
Where again can one use it?
For now, I don't know any other application, but I think after the invention have been worked on, because there are lots of people there that will work on how it will be used. Like the invention of Tesla. He is the first person to invent a radio-controlled vehicle.
Yes.
But nowadays, they have multiplied it into something else. They are using it for aircraft, for submarines, for ships, for so many things. Actually, he is the one that invented it, but he didn't invent it to work with airplanes and submarines and other things. He only invented it to work with vehicles.
So you believe that this your fog invention will also be applied into different areas of life later on?
Yes, maybe on the sea or in the ocean.
I see. Yeah. So tell us about electricity, generating electricity from the tiles, from the floor tiles. How does that look like?
The floor tiles that I'm going to talk about is not just an ordinary tile. It's a tile embedded with so many electrical components.
Okay.
And there is a principle that I do obey, that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Yes.
So one day there was a lighter. There is a lighter, an electric one, that's used to create spark.
Okay.
So I disassembled the lighter and tried to figure out where the battery is. But unfortunately, I was unable to get it. So I have to go to Google to search about the thing that is producing spark. So from that, I get to know that there are some crystals that when pressure is applied on them, they produce current, alternating current, be it high voltage or low voltage. And in that lighter, the electric lighter, there is a quartz crystal inside it, in which when pressure is applied on it, it produces high voltage, which creates the spark that ignites the gas that is coming from the lighter. So looking at that principle, I continue to search for some other substances that in which when pressure is applied on them that will produce alternating current or any other current that will produce electricity. So through Google, I was able to find some other materials like sugar crystal, bone protein, and PCT, lead silicate titanium, which is said to be the most efficient of all the materials. All these materials are called piezoelectric. Actually, that piezo is some other type of language. It means pressure. Electricity derived from pressure. Piezoelectric. So, looking into that, I try to, because I actually got one, just a small one, which I'm using to carry out experiments about it. And when I hit it with a hammer, I mean carpenter hammer, when I hit it with it, it is able to generate 1 voltage 500 milliampere, which is equivalent to 0.5 ampere.
Wow.
In which the power is, that will be around 0.5 ampere, 0.5 wattage, the power of just a single chip of that EZT, lead silicate titanium. So,
but how did you apply hammer? Did you place hammer on top, or you were using hammer to beat it out?
I used the hammer to beat it so as to create pressure on the chip.
Okay.
So in order to make it useful in the environment, I come about with 2 ideas: incorporating the chip, the tile, and also using it on the walkway. I mean on the roads, walkway, the pedestrian ways.
Yeah.
So doing that, I am able to come up with some drawings and some calculations.
So when you talk about the tiles, you are not talking about the tiles in the home or in the house. You are talking about the road tiles, the pedestrian tiles.
No, I'm not talking about the road tiles. I'm talking about the tiles that we are using in the home.
The home.
What I'm trying to tell you, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. What you are trying to tell me is what?
Is that it can be used in 2 ways, based on the pedestrian way, which will incorporate it under the asphalt lanes.
Okay.
Or in the home, it will be incorporated inside the tile, but it will not be another tile. It will be a modified one, which will be produced by some specialists.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and explain to us how that works with tiles. Yeah.
So when the tile is produced, the tiles contain 12 of that chips.
What do they contain?
Of the chips. 12 of that chip.
12 chips.
12 chips of that piezoelectric ceramics.
Okay.
So, since one can produce 1 voltage, I'll have to control it and connect it in parallel so that it will increase the voltage, 12 voltage. Because I'm using 12 number of that chip. So when pressure is applied on these tiles, be it by carrying load on it or by working on it, because human beings do have mass, weight. We have weight, and whenever you apply weight on anything, it will create pressure, be it solid, liquid, or gas. So when
heat, solid,
whether solid, liquid or gas, when you apply weight on
Pressure.
it will create pressure.
And the pressure will create,
Electricity from the tile.
it will create energy.
Elect- yes, sir. But that energy won't be useful. So it will have to get into a power box, in which will balance current with the voltage, and then send it out. Maybe you want to use it to charge your inverter battery, or want to use it directly to power your gadgets.
So each time we walk on the floor, on ground like this, we are creating pressure.
Sure, slowly, sure.
And
You
that
are
pressure could be converted into energy.
into energy with the use of the tile.
But there must be a tile, not just ordinary one, but it has to be a special tile.
Yes, sir.
And then under the tile, you have to program and put some things, some elements there, or what?
Yes, there will be this PZT, the piezoelectric material there, because it is responsible for the conversion of the pressure to electricity.
Okay. So instead of just putting cement, under the tiles, one can program, because in my house here, for example, under the tiles, when they are building the house, they put heater. So, but that one is not heater that is generated from human work, It's heater that is got from electricity. They have to put special heater under the tiles, and so that it will be, because here is cold, but so that the floor will be warm. That's what we do here. But the way you are saying it now, then how do you get the electricity from there?
Actually, in the tiles, there will be some mode of connection that will enable it to be connect with each other. So from it, you have to connect some wire, take it to the power box, in which will balance the voltage and the current. So there will be some wires under the tiles for the connection.
And the volume of power generated will be dependent on what? The watts, the number of watts or kilowatts that is generated. What would that depend on? It depends on the amount of people working there, or what?
It will depend on the weight of the person that is working on it.
So,
For an average man of 45 kilogram, this style of 1 meter square will produce 1.45 kilowatts.
just by one person that weighs 45 kilogram working.
That works on it, it will produce 1.45 kilowatts.
What about if someone like me, 80 kilogram, 85, 90, that will work on it? We can double the number of electricity.
Sure. Electricity will increase, sir.
So if there are a lot of people, like in the university campus, where there are a lot of people, if we put the tiles over everywhere, and there are thousands of students.
There's a place that is like a market or a shopping mall.
Yes.
They won't even need to pay for the electric bill, because it's even more efficient than the public electricity and the solar panels.
Aha. So any building where there are crowd, for example, they don't need to have electricity or solar or any they will be producing their own electricity just because there are people working there.
Yes, sir.
And then they will be able to store the electricity as well, because there are a lot of people working. So the more people work there, they can store them, right?
Store it in a battery.
Or in any other way to be able to use it later on.
Actually, it can only be stored in a battery because it will come out as a direct current, a DC current. Which can only be stored by battery.
Okay.
and some other private capacitors can also store it.
All right. So, but who have you been speaking to about this your idea?
I speak to one scientist on Facebook, Alabi Olushola Yobami. He is also a scientist. He has worked on so many things. So I talked to him about it and said that it is awesome that I should go ahead with it, that it's some kind of bringing Nigerian hub.
And what about government or people, other people in authority, maybe in the university where you are, anywhere?
As I said earlier, when I was in university, I don't have much time to work on all this because I'm in need of money to sustain myself. So during my study in Polytechnic Ibadan, I don't even talk to anybody about my intention because I'm not the type that's used to talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm a gentle type person. I don't used to talk. So I just go into drawing and fetch myself little money to sustain myself. So I don't talk to anybody about my invention because there are so many people that won't even say that they are inventors and they will be ready to steal your inventions.
So what are the other, have you invented some other things before now, or you are inventing some things right now, or the things that you have already invented before?
Actually, there are some other devices that I'm working on currently, like a fuelless generator.
What?
I'm working on this board. Fuelless generator.
What?
Generator that
Fuelless. Okay, generator. How would that work?
It will not use electricity. It will not use fuel. It will just be a kind of recycling the energy that is produced by the generator.
It more further for us. What will it use then?
It will contain of three machines: alternator, a DC motor, and a capacitor battery. So the capacitor battery will save the energy, and the capacitor battery is not like just ordinary battery that will take like hours before it is fully charged. It will take it only even less than a second to be fully charged. So using that method, I'll be able to charge it in a matter of milliseconds, and it will recycle the energy and send it back to the DC motor that will rotate the alternator and give out another current. So it's just like recycling energy.
Recycling?
Like recycling the energy that the generator is producing.
So it will be endless. It will be perpetual. Like it will be generating forever.
Generating forever, as long as the capacitor battery is working.
So there will be no fuel.
There will be no fuel. Everything will just be electrical.
So the same way, every other thing that uses fuel could be replaced.
Any other thing that uses, like anything that makes use of electricity, can be used to power them. Like even cars, it can be used in cars. And I'm also working on another motor that should be using only magnets, and not with the use of electricity.
Magnet?
Yes, sir. Only magnet.
Explain that, please. A car that is using only magnet.
I'm not talking about a motor, electric motor, but it will not be using like the rechargeable vehicle.
Yeah.
There will be an electric, a battery-powered DC motor there. But instead of using battery to power it, it will just be a perpetual motor that will be using only the power of magnets inside the motor, the DC motor.
I don't think I get it again. You might need to explain that again. No?
Actually, the idea is it is still an idea. I haven't worked so much on it.
Yes, what you just explained now, can you explain it again?
The system will have two magnets. One will be on the armature and one will be on the casing. Which, when magnets, the like poles, they used to repel. So one on the armature will be north pole and one on the casing will be south pole. So they will be repelling each other. But it will be a kind of modified assembly. Not as you just place the magnet there. So it will just keep repelling. The magnets will keep repelling each other, and it will continue to turn.
So this is in relation to fuel in the car, or is it in relation to the car itself or to fuel in cars?
It's in relation to rechargeable cars.
And
which
yes,
it is in relationship with rechargeable cars, in which you won't even be using battery to power the car. You won't even need to charge it.
okay, which means you don't need to be going to charge the battery somewhere.
You don't need to charge it anywhere because the motor will not be making use of electricity. It will just continue turning.
So this magnetic, you say, is it magnetic you said?
Yes, magnetic.
Magnetic. So this magnetic then will allow a car not to be in need of fuel at all.
Yes, sir.
Which also means that the car can run perpetually without putting fuel.
It can run for many years as long as the alignments, the gears and other things are working in the car. The motor will not stop.
And it doesn't need to go and be recharging the thing.
So it is not making use of electricity at all.
But that also could be used not just for cars, it could be used for different machines.
It could be used for anything that have moving parts.
Wow, 22 years old. Is there any other thing you are doing that you would like us to know? Any other project that you are working on?
I'm working on a machine that will convert water to cooking gas.
Explain that, please.
Actually, water contains of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is combustible, is compound, and oxygen supports burning. But when they are in combination, in the case of water, they won't support combustion. So I'm going to place the elements into two, the hydrogen on one side and the oxygen on one side, with the use of some electrodes and electricity.
And it's going to give us what product at the end of the day?
It will give hydrogen gas.
What will we use it for?
It can be used to burn. Like it's a combustible gas. It can be used to cook. It can be used in cars that use gas.
So what is the product? You tell me the product again.
Hydrogen gas.
Just the gas, production of gas.
Just production of gas from water.
Okay, production of gas from water.
Ordinary water.
So the era of using firewood in Nigeria could also come to an end that way.
Yes, actually, what pushed me into thinking about creating something like this is the greenhouse effect, because all those things that we are using to cook, like the firewood, like the gas, the LPG gas. There's other things like that. They are producing carbon dioxide, which is a major component of greenhouse effects. And using this device this machine that I want to build, the gas that will be produced in the machine, oxyhydrogen gas, when burned, is to only produce steam.
It only produces steam. Steam.
When burned.
So it doesn't produce the gas that destroys the environment and poisons human being.
No, not at all. It's only. Yes.
Wow. So you said did you just finish from the school? From Polytechnic, you said?
Sir?
You said you just finished from Polytechnic. You said you just finished from Polytechnic?
Last year. The Polytechnic Ibadan last year.
Is it OND or HND?
OND, sir.
So you've been sitting at home since then?
Yes.
And you said nobody has recognized you for any of these things?
Yes. Even in my city, they don't care about things like this. What they used to cherish is maybe ceremonies, maybe burial ceremonies.
Speak into the, I can't hear you. Speak into the microphone. What did you say?
In my city, they don't care about things like this. They only care about maybe burial ceremony and some other ceremonies like that, which they will get money from it. But this one, since it is an invention, they won't want to invest on it. But if it is a business, they will invest on it.
But burial ceremony is not a business now.
But they used to get money from it.
So your huh? So the authority of your city, is it the mayor or what you call them? Is it mayor, the administration of your town? The mayor or the administration or what do you call them? Your local government, they have not recognized you at all?
Actually, back in secondary schools, me and my friends, we tried to build a robot, which will cost us so much money. So we go to the local government secretariat to raise some funds to build the robots. But what they keep telling us is that we should face our education and we shouldn't be doing things like this because it will not work. That's what they told us.
So they didn't give you any money?
So since then, they don't give us anything. Since then, I don't even go to them. So what I always think about is that when I get my own money, when I get my job, I'll be able to build the prototype and show it to the world. Because I know that when I have the prototype, people will invest on it.
Well, you are in what state? Osun State, eh?
Oyo State.
Oyo State. Okay, where are you in Oyo State again? What local government and what town?
Isheyin local government. Isheyin town.
Isheyin?
Isheyin.
Iseyin or Isheyin?
Isheyin.
Iseyin.
Yes, sir.
Iseyin, right?
Isheyin.
Iseyin local government.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the town that is closest to you in Oyo State?
Oyo.
The city of Oyo is close to you, eh?
Yes, sir.
Is Oyo the capital of Osogbo? Is the capital? Ibadan is the capital of Oyo State, right?
Yes, sir. That is the capital of Oyo State.
But you are closest to Oyo.
Yes.
What about the politicians? Do the politicians know about you?
The politicians only come around when it is time for election, they don't come out. They don't even come home. They only come out when it is time for election, in which they will give people bag of rice and some other things like that.
So the government of Oyo State has not recognized you yet.
Yes, sir.
I think that one not be yes, so that one is more no. They have not recognized you in your state. Anyway, I want to use this opportunity to talk to everybody that is watching us right now. You see this 22-year-old boy, all these kind of inventions that he's been talking about, and nobody has paid attention to him. From making electricity from floor tiles to making cars that would not need to use fuel-less cars, to making gas, that's cooking gas or gas from water, all kind of things that this young man is working on, from resolving the problem of accident in the road because of fog, and the planes landing because of fog, and nobody has paid attention to him. I think these kind of guys is supposed to receive a scholarship to study in the best school or in the best university, not just in Nigeria but in the world. So I want to open this program to callers, to people who might be willing to call into the program. We need to discuss this. I want you to encourage you who is watching us, anybody that is watching us, to go to Facebook Messenger. Go to Facebook Messenger, and when you get there, look for Move Agents. Move Agents. And in Move Agents, write us and say you would like to call. Just say you would like to call or contribute just write us. Go to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, that is one word, and tell us that, just write to us that you would like to call. Especially, I want to talk to people from Oyo State. Maybe there will be somebody from Oyo State that will have a burden for what this young man is doing, and would like to get in touch with him. Let me ask my team, do we have his photograph, some photograph of his inventions, or do we have his contacts? Yeah, let's see his contacts. Let's see, maybe we could display his telephone, and if anybody might be willing to get in touch with him. So this is Busari Taiwo. Busari Taiwo is his name, Busari Taiwo. So you are a Muslim, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, a practicing Muslim or a formal, and just an formal Muslim?
A practicing Muslim.
Practicing Muslim. Did you ask for help from the mosque, or the mosque people will not understand you?
I don't ask help from the mosque.
Why not?
Because I just think it's a place to worship and not a place to talk about things like that.
So in mosque, they don't talk about any other thing apart from worship?
Actually, what we do there is only to worship.
So they don't talk about education in the mosque?
No.
No?
Yes.
So they don't talk about education there. They don't talk about progress, development.
They do talk about progress and development of the community.
So that's a good idea I'm giving you. You will tell them that this is one of the greatest inventions that will bring about progress and development of the community. What about your family? Is your family in the position to help you, support you?
My family is actually, my parents are salary earners. They are teachers. Both of them are teachers, and in Oyo State, they don't even pay their salary when they are supposed to pay it. Maybe they used to pay 2 months after it's due. So they don't even have enough money to sponsor me.
Have you sent me your friend request for Facebook? Are we friends on Facebook? You don't know? Are we friends on Facebook? No?
No.
Okay, no problem. Once we finish the program, please send me a friend request
Okay, sir.
so that I could keep track of you. Zwanok jest, tak? Okay, Puska Zwanok bude paka ty budeš paka Zwanok. I see that some of the photographs you are showing here, they're just ordinary. You are just using whatever you see around. This is no, you don't have factory. No factory. No, huh?
I'm just using local things to innovate.
Just local things.
Yes.
Zwanok. Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, DSA.
Yes, ma. Is that Mabel?
Yes, sir. You guess right.
How are you, my sister?
I'm great. And you?
Can you see the young man I'm having today? Miracle worker that nobody is paying attention to.
It's unbelievable. And where will I start to thank you?
Just speak louder. Speak directly into your device and louder, please.
Okay, sir. This is taking me back again to the people that we asked after showcasing them what next. I wish they would go back and redefine advertisements. Let them go and redefine that and tell me, for you bringing this boy to the world, it means a lot to men of goodwill. Thank you so much, DSA. Thank you so very much. And again, I would love to congratulate you. The Lord is not done with you yet. He keeps announcing you day in, day out. Look at what Ukraine did. Congratulations to you and congratulations to them. I doff my cap for them for recognizing the truth, because it's not easy to recognize the truth. We, your brothers and sisters, we don't even know you. We don't even want to hear your voice. But they recognize what you did. Thank you so very much. And may the good Lord keep announcing you day in, day out without stopping. Thank you so very much, DSA.
Thank you.
I'm purposely called to tell you, thank you for advertising these people to the world. Thank you for what you are doing to humanity. History will speak for you.
Amen.
If we don't speak for you, stones will speak for you.
Amen.
Whether we like it or not, the world is watching. Look at now, you are talking to a Muslim without any reservation, without any remorse. You are ready to promote whoever.
Yeah.
Keep being you. I'm gonna fight with Timayawa when they were saying add the money to your books. I don't blame her. I don't blame that great daughter of the Most High. It's because, do you know that when you said you're gonna tell the people that in the HMT, the little secret you say you're gonna tell them, DSI was restless. I'm like, how are we gonna hear this thing with them? Just one. Look at the menu you are pouring out. We don't even care. But the little you just withdrew, it's like the heaven is getting loose. Look at Nero spying on her mother, on his mother, saying, Mom, what did he tell you? Meanwhile, you be telling us these days that we are not hearing. DSA, please don't stop. And please don't add that money. Just be you. Mayo, I love you. I'm not speaking against you. I love you, the daughter of the Most High. Keep on the good work you are doing. DSA, you are the man of the moment. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thank you so much, Mabel. Thank you so very much. Wonderful,
Thank you, sir.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, yes, this is, we need to do what we need to do. But I would have to say that Taiwo, of course, if you get admission to Nigeria University, you can go ahead. But I personally will see to it, by the grace of God, that you get admission to abroad, to a university. Can you begin to look for university abroad?
Yes,
Or
sir.
you already know the kind of university you like to go to? Spook.
Actually, I heard about MIT.
MIT, that is beautiful. That is the best technological university in the world. So you would like to go to MIT?
Yes, sir.
Maybe we should take all of you to MIT. You, Emmanuel, Emeka, Jerry. No, Jerry said it doesn't. His own is not to go to university. He wants to observe. All of you that would need to go to, all of you that are technologists like this, will take you to MIT by the grace of God. You will hear from me by the grace of God. But also, maybe there are some people who are listening to us right now that also might be interested in helping you one way or the other. Do we still have callers? Please, if anybody still want to call to the program, please go ahead and write to us on Facebook Messenger and that you would like to call. So how many of your inventions have we spoken about today?
I've spoken about 5.
How many?
5.
5. Do you still have more?
The one that I have is a kind of big one.
Big one?
It's somehow big. It's not something that I can do on my own.
Yeah, let us know now, because people will be hearing you now and they might be willing to partner with you.
The invention is generating electricity from solar radiation. Actually, I call it solar thermal electricity generator. It didn't work like solar panel. Just have to capture the light rays to heat a special metal in which there will be heat transfer, and it will work the same way as nuclear energy generation, like the nuclear reactor. But you won't be using anything like radioactive elements which used to cause cancers. But in this time, we'll be using solar radiations.
Can you speak more into something again? Explain that thing again. I didn't quite get it. What is the difference between the solar energy we have now and this one you are talking about?
The main difference is that I'm not going to be using the light. I'm using the energy that is generated from the sun. I'll have to collect it and send it into a reactor, just like that of a nuclear reactor. It will heat up a special metal which we directly heat some waters and pass it to some other moving parts. Use it to generate electricity. Actually pass it to the turbine to produce electricity. But in this case, it works the same way like the nuclear reactor. But because the nuclear reactor used to produce radiation, which brings about cancer in human beings. So I just think that instead of using nuclear elements, we're supposed to use solar, because the heat generated from the sun is even more enormous than what we can get from the nuclear elements. So
but how are you sure that will work?
actually 50% sure.
Huh?
50%.
Have you
have
done
50%
have you done the calculations?
I haven't done anything. I just have the idea about this one. I don't even have any drawing about it.
So you need other engineers. You will need other engineers to help you to together with you do the calculations.
Yes, but in the meantime, I can come around with a working prototype.
You can try to do prototype,
Yes,
a working prototype. So you are talking about radiation, creating energy from the solar radiation.
Yes, sir.
But for that kind of technology, you will need the help of some superpower, maybe countries like to help you build the what do you call it, reactor? Is it reactor they call it?
It's a reactor.
Yes, to build the reactor, so you will need the help of countries like Russia, America, or China.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. All these things can be resolved. I don't want you to give up on any idea like that. I want you to keep on developing it because it's going to work out. Okay, what are the other ideas that you have?
For now, I don't have any other idea.
Okay, can you repeat all the 6 ideas you have spoken about?
It's now 7.
They are now 7, eh? Okay, let's repeat them one by one.
Electricity generating floor type.
Electricity generating floor tiles. So, but that can only be domestic quantity of energy. It will not be commercial, right? Or we can still generate commercial level or national level, so that it will. For example, what do we need to do to be able to generate like 1 gigabyte, for example, of electricity, or kilowatts?
So, actually, the idea to do that will be to work on it, to incorporate it in the road.
Oh, okay. We can incorporate it in the roads.
Yes.
If it's incorporated in the roads, you are very correct. If you incorporate it in the roads, then we could generate for a whole city.
And also, when it is used by the walkway, the pedestrian way, it can be used to power the street lights.
Okay. It could also power the street lights if it's on the pedestrian way. Very good. Do you have street light in your town?
Yes.
You have street light in your town?
Yes, sir.
And it's working?
They usually turn it on when there is occasion, maybe during the New Year, Christmas time, and all these festive seasons. That's when they used to turn it on.
Because there is no electricity. And they don't know that they have a sun there that could help them create electricity, so that the electricity will be generating electricity to light their street every day for free. Okay, so that
Nigeria, they don't believe that.
Sorry?
In this Nigeria, they don't believe that just ordinary one person can solve their problem. They only put every burden of their problem on the federal government, that federal government will solve it.
Yeah, that's very sad, because I have a book that is called You Are Born to Make Your Nation Great. And that is what we are talking about there, that everybody, every citizen has a role to play to make its nation great, not just the government or the federal government. So that is number one invention. But before we go ahead, let me address the people who are watching us again. If anybody that is watching us would like to contribute to this, our discussion, please go ahead and write to us on Facebook Messenger. And when you get to Facebook Messenger, drop us a line that you would like to call to this program. So go to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, and when you get to Move Agents, drop us a line and say you would like to call, and we will welcome your calls. So what is the number 2 invention that we are speaking about today at Taiwo?
It's a machine that converts water to gas.
The machine that will convert water to gas,
Yes.
which is that will be mainly for domestic use, or what?
Yes. For domestic use.
So that people can cook with this kind of gas without emission of poisonous chemicals, right? Hello? Can you hear me?
Right? Yes, sir. Oh.
I said, what are the advantages of this?
Yes, sir.
What are the advantages of this?
The advantage is that
Yes, go ahead.
the advantage is that the material needed to produce the gas is very common. You can get it anywhere. You can get water anywhere. Be it rainwater, stream water, or any kind of water, you can use it. And also the gas that will be produced is not a greenhouse gas. It will produce steam, in which can also be converted to water back, like just recycling water. When you burn the gas, it will produce steam. And the steam will not even, it's not a greenhouse gas. So it will just go into the atmosphere and join the clouds, and even fall back as rain.
So you can convert it to gas, and then from gas back to water.
Yes, to go to the atmosphere and fall down back as rain.
Beautiful. Okay, that's number 2 invention. What was number 3 invention?
And the third one is the fog machine.
Okay. The fog machine. Tell us about remind us about the advantages of that one.
The advantage is that it reduces fog, be it in the airport, on the road, or anywhere, maybe on the sea or on the oceans. It reduces fog, which will reduce accidents caused by fog. Because fog do reduce visibility. So it will reduce fog, which will increase visibility during the Harmattan season.
So that there will be less accident on our roads, in the airport, and maybe on the sea.
Yes, during the Harmattan.
Yeah, but here we call it winter. During winter, so that there will be no fog. All right, that's number 3, invention number 3. What about invention number 4?
Number 4 is a fuel-less generator.
Generation that doesn't use petrol,
Well,
and it will not use gas too.
yes, a generator that it will not use anything. Everything is electrical. It will just be like recycling the electricity inside it.
Generator that doesn't use gas. So how does this work, and what are the advantages?
Where it works, the working principle is simple. It's just that it contains it contains a DC motor, alternator, and a capacitor battery. Actually, the DC motor will have to be spin to produce electricity, through coupling it with the alternator, because alternator is a kind of modified motor that produces electricity when it is spinning. So the DC motor will spin the alternator, and the alternator will produce electricity, which will charge the capacitor battery in a matter of milliseconds. And that capacitor battery will have output in a recharge point. The recharge point will connect back to the DC motor, in which will power the DC motor again, and the output part will connect to the maybe the let's say if you want to use this for your house, to power your house, or you want to use it to charge your gadgets. So it will just be like recycling.
And that generation can work, that kind of generation can work for as long as possible, perpetually.
For as long as the capacitor battery is working.
And since the battery can be recharged under a second or a minute, so it's like, non-stop.
Yes.
Okay, so next one.
The next one is a magnetic motor.
Perpetual.
The kind of motor that is modified. Magnetic motor.
Magnetic motor. Okay. Tell me about that again. The advantages and what is the,
The working principle is just that it contains some modified magnets in which, when they are in contact, they repel each other, which will bring about the rotation of the armature of the motor. And the advantage of it is that you don't need to use battery to power it. It spins on its own, and it can be used in cars, in anything that have moving parts. So that to eradicate the use of battery and the use of fuel.
So there will be no need for the use of battery, and there will be no need for the use of fuel, because it's going to be using magnetics. Magnets. So where are you getting the magnets from?
It is just a common magnet, just ordinary magnets, a neodymium magnet. Magnet.
So it will generate energy or what? Or electricity? What does it generate? Power?
It's actually, when it spins, you can couple, in a car, the work of the engine is to spin by using fuel.
Yes.
So it will spin, and it will turn all the moving parts in the motor. So instead of using the fuel engine, it can be used instead of the fuel engine. So it will spin all the moving parts. And also it can be used by coupling with the generator, which when it spins, the generator is to produce electricity. It can be used with anything with moving parts.
So the advantage is that our cars will be driving without fuel and without battery. Am I getting you right? Hello? Hello? I said the advantage therefore is that our car will be driving without
Sir, I can't say it.
You can't hear me? Can you hear now?
Without batteries and fuel.
Without batteries and without fuel. A car will be driving without battery and without fuel.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. What is the next one? Hello? Hello?
Next one, actually, I have not talked about. I haven't talked about. Hello, sir.
Yes.
The next one, I haven't talked about it.
Okay.
an organic battery.
Organic
Organic battery.
What do you call it?
Actually, I got organic battery.
Organic battery. What do you mean by organic battery?
It's a battery that I build using organic materials that can decompose. Because most of the batteries that we are using, none of them can decompose. Contribute out spec. So I come up with the idea just 2 weeks ago about the organic battery using copper and aluminum with salt water.
So the advantage,
the kind of battery.
the advantage of such a battery would be that it is environment friendly.
It is environment friendly. It will not contribute to greenhouse effect. So I actually have a prototype, but it's not there with me. I have a working prototype. Maybe I'll send the picture.
So you already created a prototype for that one. Organic battery.
About the idea 2 weeks ago.
Is there anything we have not spoken about yet? Hello? Is there anyone we have not spoken about?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you. Hello? Can you hear me at all? Okay, while the... Sorry?
So just
Okay, I think we have to probably... Yeah, the network is not very good. Astanovi Paka.
yes, narrator.
Atam Netos Bukara. Wow, so these are the kind of young men and women that God is raising up in Nigeria right now. And I think we need to give them all the help that we can. Not just exposing them to the world, but actually help them to make their dreams come to pass. And by the grace of God, as soon as God helps me to resolve my issue here in Ukraine, I'm going to be partnering with these children, and I'm going to take them under my wings by God's grace. Even if there is no help for them from any other place, I want to be a friend of this kind of children, and I want to help them to achieve their goals and make sure that everything they are coming up with will come true and will come forth in Jesus' name. So, Taiwo, are you still there? Hello, can you still hear me? Hello? Okay, while we can still not hear him, I want to talk to you about
Yes.
about the book that we are talking about, that we are presenting today, The Creative and Innovative Power of a Genius.
I can hear you, sir.
The Creative and Innovative Power of a Genius. It will help you to develop your innovation and creativity. Also, this other book, You Are Born to Make Your Nation Great, is for all of us, no matter what country you are coming from. You are born to make your nation great. And people like Taiwo, they are taking responsibility to create inventions that will make their nation great. Let's show the contacts of Taiwo again, just in case somebody might want to get in touch with him. Meanwhile, I want to talk about the fact that tonight I will be continuing my new series that I just started, and the series is about redemption. So the topic is redemption, salvation, and being born again. Redemption, salvation, and being born again. So for everybody that is planning to come for the evening message, the people who were there yesterday were very excited. And I hope that, more people will show up today in the next 30 minutes. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be coming on that program to do my evening service on redemption. So that is Taiwo's contact there. Taiwo, I want to say thank you so much for coming. I don't know if you can hear me, but I want to say thank you so much for coming. We are going to keep in touch with you. And, don't worry. It might be late. It might take some time. But believe me, help is coming. Help is on the way. We are going to get you. And we are going to help you fulfill your dreams. In Jesus' name. So I understand we don't have callers again. Okay, if there are no callers, I have to say bye-bye to Taiwo. And we'll be in touch with you. You are to shoot. And for the people who are watching us, I want to also say, if you know of anybody that is into innovation and invention, get them in touch with us. And we are going to, first of all, create platform for them until it's time for me to go to Nigeria, when I will be able to be available, make myself available to help all these people. We just finished a wonderful History Makers training where we spoke about systems, and these kind of people, they are the ones who will value that kind of teaching. And thank God that God is raising them up himself. And we need thousands of these kind of people that will create and bring about solution to the problems of our continent. Well, that's it from me today. I will be back in the next 30 minutes. Thank you so much, everyone. Peace.